Hey everybody, this is Aaron Whitehead. Welcome to Learn to Play the Piano. This is lesson 13 in a series of short lessons. In this video, we'll focus on the second part of our study of rhythm in music notation. We ended our last lesson with whole notes, half notes, and quarter notes. We're going to pick up there. Let's look at a two-measure example using whole notes, half notes, and quarter notes. Our first measure is going to be a whole note. Our second measure is going to be two quarter notes followed by a half note. So if this is our beat, it would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we were to take a quarter note and divide it in half, we would get an eighth note. We use the word and in between each beat to represent the subdivision of the eighth notes. So instead of just counting the beats 1, 2, 3, 4, we would count them as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Eighth notes look like quarter notes, except they have one tail or one flag on them. So we're going to slow our beat down a little bit, and we're going to do eighth notes that sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now usually with eighth notes, you won't see them notated in this way with a flag on every note. Instead, you'll usually find them grouped in either groups of 4, like this, or by beat in groups of 2. They look like this. Now we learned in the last lesson what the chords at the beginning of a piece of music would tell us. The top 4 tells us how many beats are in the measure, and the bottom 4 tells us that the quarter note gets the beat. But let's look at an example where 4 is not the number of beats in a measure. Instead, let's look at one that has 2 beats in each measure. We call this 2/4 time. Notice that now there's a 2 on top. This 2 tells us that there are 2 beats in each measure. And the bottom 4 still tells us that the quarter note gets the beat. So notice that the beats on the bottom also have the ands in them so that we're ready to do eighth notes. Now let's consider all the different ways we could divide up the beats in a 2/4 measure. One half note could be held throughout this entire measure, or 2 quarter notes would fill up this measure, or like we learned about earlier in this lesson, 4 eighth notes could fill up this measure. And if we were to divide those eighth notes in half, we would get 16th notes. Notice that the 16th notes look like the eighth notes that have the bar that go across to connect them, except there's 2 bars. That's because 16th notes have 2 flags or 2 tails on each of them. Notice also that when we count the 16th notes, we have to add a syllable in between the 1 or the beat and the and. We're going to use E and so it'll be 1 E and 2 E and for each of the beats. So if we reintroduce our beat, it would sound like this. 1 E and 2 E and So that's how you divide and count 16th notes. So now we have a whole note, half note, quarter note, eighth note, and 16th note. We hope you enjoyed lesson number 13, and if you did, you might also enjoy our book, which is now available on Amazon or our website, thepianochordbook.com. And we also have an app available on iTunes and the Android market, and we hope you'll join us for the next lesson where we'll discuss rests in music notation. Thanks, God bless, and see you next time.